Hello there. Time for another gaming music countdown. I'm gonna be sorry if you hear the fan going. It's hot as hell in here. But for this one, I'm gonna be doing some video game themes that I feel are underrated. And I didn't want to do a top 10 because I knew I was gonna have quite a bit to say about each of these songs, and I didn't want to do a top 5 because I was like, well, it's really not a whole lot. So I was like, I'll take a page out of What Culture's book and go right in the middle. So let's get right into it. The first one, or number 7, excuse me, is from the Game Boy version of Turok, which I used to have and I need to pick it up again. It's a game I feel like tends to be overlooked because, well, when we think of Turok, we think of the N64, and you probably wouldn't get a first-person shooter on the original Game Boy, so it's an side-scrolling action platformer, and it's actually a pretty good game. One thing that always stood out to me was the music. You had a great soundtrack, especially for the original Game Boy. And it was one theme that always really stood out to me. It's called Ancient City, which is a certain area in the third level. And I don't think I ever made it past the third level when I was a kid. But anyway, this song goes a little bit something like this. This kind of sounded like the music that would be in a 16-bit fighter or something, don't you think? Like a fighting game on the Super Nintendo with the Genesis. TurboGrafx 16. Like, I can just picture characters doing their stance with this part right here playing. But, moving on to number 6. This is from a game called Monster Madness Battle for Suburbia. I would consider it to be a hidden gem because, well, it's not a great game, but it's okay. It's almost like Gauntlet in a way, but it's like a cross between that and a 3D action platformer. I thought it was pretty good. Hard, but good. It has really good music. A lot of the music is kind of like rock and roll, and this theme, which is from the last boss, which there's actually a little bit more to it than that, but I'm not going to go into all the details. This theme is from when you fight the last boss. It's kind of low on the list because it's like, it sounds awesome, but it's like, it starts out like really good, but then it gets kind of, I mean, at least in my opinion, it does, but anyway. Here comes the other cat. Touch the camera. Uh-oh. He's just looking for a lap. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. It's her music. Oh, dance. She's like, sure. See, like this part right here is kind of, but I guess this fits the atmosphere of the game better because it's like a, yeah, you fight like all kinds of monsters and creatures and whatnot. Smile for the camera, see. let's move on. The next is a game called Zero the Kamikaze Squirrel for the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. Although I never played the Genesis version, but my brother rented the SNES one when we were kids, and I actually put it on my SNES Classic because it's the real thing is expensive, the real card, and I feel like it tends to be overlooked. Maybe the title kind of turns people off. Zero the Kamikaze Squirrel. It's actually a spin-off of Arrow the Acrobat. I mean, I never made it too far in that game, but I guess Zero's from that game. This was like kind of he got his own game or something. But anyway, it's actually a really good platformer. He's got a good barrage of variety of moves and techniques and stuff, and the gameplay is solid, and the music is awesome, probably because it's made by Sunsoft. So, this theme right here is from the first level, which takes place on a beach. I forgot to say that, didn't I? This is number 5. Right, see? Alright, that's enough of that. So moving on to number 4. This is from Gaunt Legends, the N64 version of Gaunt Legends. I'm not going to go into all the details of like, there was the PS1 version, the game, arcade version, all that, but okay, so you have the secret characters, which are basically like alternate animal forms or alternate skins of the other characters. The wizard's alternate skin, if you will, was a jackal, and because in the N64 version, it's like in a frozen tundra place, like the jackal token room is like this Arctic docks, and I always loved the music on this pad. Yeah, I remember sometimes, because I have the N64 game concept, which is actually right here, sometimes I would play, even though I unlocked the jackal, sometimes I would play through that just to hear the music again. I mean, this was like, kind of like 15, 17 years ago or something, but yeah, always loved that song. So, that song goes a little bit something like this. Kind of sounds like pirate music, I think. Turn that up a little too. It's almost like a cross between pirate and Conan music. Or both. Yeah. Bug flying around. I can't say, what's that? Now they're both looking at it. There's a bug. Uh-oh. He's like, Okay, I'm up. Gotta go kill that bug. Well, since they're distracted, of course the bug has to fly around the camera. Number 3 is from Battle Arena Toshinden 2. Now, the Toshinden games really haven't aged well, like graphics-wise. I think that's why the first one being on the PlayStation Classic gets like a lot of flack. People are like, oh, why'd you put that on there? It's like, yeah, I kind of agree. The game really hasn't aged well, but these games had such awesome music, especially the second one. To be honest, I think Battle Arena Toshinden 2 is one of the greatest video game soundtracks of all time. And I love all the music in this game, and it was hard to pick just one, but it was like which is my favorite, because, like I said, these games, like, nobody really looks at them the same anymore because they haven't aged well, but it's not a game people would probably play nowadays, so to speak, so it's like, the music might be kind of like, yeah. So I went with, you know what, I think I gotta go with Sophia's theme. I should probably turn this down a bit. The music in this game kind of reminds me of like anime, like something you would hear in an anime movie. My allergies are bothering me. My neighbor just recently cut down like a cotton tree or something, so the crabs flying all around. Not at the house, but you know, coming out the windows and shit. God, I love this My brother still has the long box version of this game. I think that was one of the first PS1 games he bought. Let's get this one more time. Da-da-da-da, one more time. Okay. So for number 2, it's from Moto, which it was a series of racing games. There was 3 of them for the PS1, which I feel like a lot of people don't really remember these games. People remember them. I mean, I'm sure there's people who remember them, but then there's people who don't really talk about them that much. Nobody really talks about them that much. It's a series of racing games with hover bikes. Pretty hard, but a lot of fun. And the music was awesome, probably because it was made by Single Track, who made a lot of PS1 exclusives, including the first 2 Twisted Metal games, Warhawk, and Critical Depth. Their games always had awesome music. So from the first Jet Moto game, this theme is called Ice Crusher. Always love this song. It'll play. Come on. Here we go. Turn that down. This song is so like upbeat too, you know, it's like really upbeat and intense, like it fits the stage perfectly. You're all like a glacier basically. Just keeps like splitting apart. I think PS1 had the greatest video game soundtracks of all time. To this day, like the music on that just really stands out from that system. Even if a lot of the games haven't aged well, the music is just... Okay, so number 1 is a game called Spyborgs for the Wii. Now, of course, the Wii is well known for having a lot of shovelware type of games. And this was a game I came across. I was in, God, probably like 6-7 years ago. I was in GameStop, and I was looking at the Wii games, and I was like, "Oh, what's this?" It kind of caught my eye. I think it was like $5 or something. It was a game by Capcom. And I was like, "Oh, this sounds pretty cool." So I bought it. It's actually a pretty good game. It's an arcade-style beat-em-up with like cyborg characters, obviously, and the thing is, you do have to play it like this. You know, you have to use the Wiimote, the nunchucks, so you're like kind of playing like this. But it's actually not that bad with the, this game. The game had some pretty kick-ass music, but there was one theme in particular. I don't think it has like a really. It just says Chapter 1, Track 2, and I don't know. I guess because the game is so like underrated that it has like no real title for the music or anything. But yeah, this theme is this music. Oh, so awesome. It goes a little bit something like this. Hear this one more time. Now I kind of want to play this. The game, not the... yeah. Alright, folks. I guess I'm going to sign out here, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.